To start writing HTML code, you need a text editor. I'm using VS Code or Visual Studio Code. You could use any other text editor. Now, the first thing you want to do is to select a folder where you're going to store your files. So I'll go into this hamburger icon. I'll click on File and I'll go to Open Folder. Click on Open Folder and go ahead and select the folder you want to use where all your files, HTML files, is going to be placed. Now, if you have a folder already created, like here I have 3 folders, you could click on any one to select and begin writing your code. Now, you could save, you could create your folder anywhere. It could be in desktop, it could be in documents, but I want to create my folder in desktop. So I'll create a new folder and I'll right click on an empty space. I'll click on New and Folder. I'll name the folder HTML tutorials. Now press on Select Folder. I'll click on it again to select the folder. So now the folder is going to be opened up in VS Code. The essence of creating a folder is for you to place in all your files in that folder. So now, next step is to create a file. Make sure you have clicked on the folder, then go ahead and click on this New File button, or you can click on an empty space here in the Explorer space and then click on New File, or you can also click on this New File button here to create a new file. Now let's name this index.html. Every HTML file must end with the .html extension. Now don't forget that. I'll press enter. I'll begin to write HTML code for my HTML file. Now the first thing you want to write is HTML. Now when you press the tab key on your keyboard, you get the opening and closing tag like this. So every tag, this is called tag, every tag in HTML has an opening and closing tag. The closing tag has this / in it. So in between the opening and closing tag, something goes into that. So everything in your HTML document is wrapped around HTML opening tag and HTML closing tag. Now after that comes the head tag. Now type that and press tab, the tab key on your keyboard, and you'll be given the opening and closing head tag. Now what goes into the head are information you can't see as a user of the website. Let's continue. The next thing that comes after the head is the body tag. Press the tab key on your keyboard, tab, and you have it spaced out like this. So what comes in the body of an HTML document is what users see when they go to any website. Even though I said that users of website don't see what goes into the head, but there is a special one that users could see, which is the title. So just type title and press the tab key on your keyboard. Now this gives the title. This is where the title of the document comes in. So let's call this my first let's title this document my first website. Now I will save your document. Now I've pressed saved, and automatically I get my HTML document formatted properly or rearranged properly. There's some extensions that you need. To install some extensions, click on this extension icon and search for live server. You can see it's already popped up. Click on live server. You need this one. This is very important for you to download. So I've downloaded it, but that's why it's showing on install. So just click on install and install live server. Live server is going to be used for us to preview, to see our website live. Click on this Explorer button. Now that will take you to the folder and the file we created. Now cancel this. Now so in HTML we have several tags. We have the H1 tag. Press H1 on your keyboard and press the tab key. You will be given the opening and closing H1 tag. Now H1 stands for heading. H stands for heading, but H1 is the biggest heading or the most important heading in a in an HTML document. Let's say I type hello world, Ctrl S to save, or you go to this icon and you click on save or save all. Now let's check out what this website gives us. So I'll right click and I'll then click on open with live server, and you'll be given a live preview of this website we just created. So one thing you also need for writing HTML code is a browser. You can see the HTML document has come up on a browser. So this is what we have written so far. You can see what we have here, hello world, is by virtue of this one right there in the body of the website. Title of the website, which we called my first website, shows up here. We have several tags like I said. We have the paragraph tag, P. Just type P and press the tab key and type something into the paragraph tag. Let's type I'm learning HTML. Now save this and check out your preview, your website preview, and you see that it has been populated there. What I just typed is appearing there. So the difference here is that hello world has been formatted as a heading, while I'm learning HTML is formatted as a paragraph. So now that's what HTML does. It formats our content for us. If I press H2 and I press tab, now let's type this is nice and I save. Now let's check out how it looks like on our web page, and we see the heading to here. This is nice. So on a website you would have the most important heading at the top, formatted with the H1 element, and the next important heading formatted with the H2 element. Even though we are not learning CSS, I want to give some styles to this HTML. I'll go into the head element and I'll type a style and press tab. Now, so in between here is where you could write some CSS. Now we will create a special tutorial on CSS, but for now just know that you can style your documents. So let's style the entire page by selecting the HTML tag and then giving the font size. You can see as you are typing, the options come up. So font size, you could press your tab key to select that option. Let's give this font size of 22 pixels for the entire page. I will continue and give some stylings to the body. Let's give the body a background color. You can see it comes up, background color comes up, so I'll just press the tab key to select it. Now let's give the body, the background of the web page, a color, a dark color. Let's do ash 333. Now that will give you a dark color. You could change the color right here. Click on this color button and change the color to any color you want to change it to. Now lastly, let's give it a color. Let's give the text white color. Let's do white, or white smoke color. So always end with a semicolon. Now this will style this document for us. So so this document is simply saying, okay, that we are giving the entire text of our document a size of 22 pixels. We are making the background of the site to be ash color, and we want the text to be white. If I preview the website, you will see that all those stylings have been applied. So we have a dark background